Hello, my sewing friends. Let's talk about Project Dress-A-Girl. I'm Jen, and this is my sewing room, and it's my turn today to talk about Project Dress-A-Girl. What? You haven't heard of this? So many YouTubers every single day in September have had a video specifically dedicated to Project Dress-A-Girl, and those of us who sew who haven't had a video dedicated to that have been talking about it. Let me tell you about it. It is a charity event that is being hosted by Madi from Madi Sews. It's being hosted here on YouTube and also on Instagram. And basically, it's all about giving a dress to a little girl that wouldn't otherwise ever get one. Madi is a wonderful friend of mine. She is so community minded. She just wanted to give back. And so last year she started this and was hoping to get 100 dresses to be donated. And she got 900. Because I gotta tell you, when you ask the sewing community to do something, you better just back up and get ready, because we will bring it. We will bring it. Remember all those masks we were all making? Well, Madi knew that if she could get the word out, that we would get going, and we have. So this year we're on track to make about 1,500. So very exciting. Well, everyone who has done a video about this, they've all talked about patterns and fabrics and techniques and special ways that make it easier and that kind of thing. And so I thought maybe I would tell you a little bit about the organization and tell you where these dresses are going and how this whole thing got started. So let me start with Hope for Women International. Now, this is the umbrella organization under which Project Dress-A-Girl is found. Hope for Women International was founded in 2008 by some women who had gone on a mission trip to Uganda. It expanded later into the Philippines, and what they found was that they wanted to empower women in Uganda who were widows and other women at risk who needed just some support in several ways. So they decided, let's found this organization on 4 pillars, the first of which is dignity. They wanted to extend that to these women and empower them to be able to make a living, just teach them skills to be able to provide for themselves. The second was health. In this way, they wanted to just kind of do some education about basic good health habits, hygiene, first aid, these basic sorts of things, which are just so helpful in preventing disease and, keeping you healthy. The third way was joy. What they did was basically provide a spa day wherein they gave pedicures and other sorts of spa-ish things. But the thing that impressed me about this when I read about it was that when you do a pedicure, you are on your knees in front of someone washing their feet. This is a very, very strong Christian symbol, if you will, for me, because that's what Jesus did with the disciples. It is an act of humility, and it is very humbling to have it done. It is such a privilege to be able to do it. And so when you give someone a pedicure, that's what you're doing, is washing their feet, taking care of them. And so they wanted to do that. These spa days are a real treat and a joy to these women. And lastly, love. They want to be Jesus to these women. And all these things are ways that they can do that. With Hope for Women International, there are several ways that you can get involved. One of the ways is to sponsor a woman, to provide her with all of these things. You can donate to the training for Victory Gardens, which they plant and help them to become self-sufficient. You can go on a mission trip. And they go to all kinds of places. Uganda, India, Guatemala, the Philippines, Romania, Appalachia, here in the US, and check the website because there may be more countries where they're going. And the last way is the Dress a Girl Around the World project. Dress a Girl Around the World. Let me read you their mission statement. We dream of a world where every girl has at least one dress. We want girls to know that they are worthy of respect and loved by God. Boy, don't we all wholeheartedly agree with that? Yeah. They have delivered over 2 million dresses to 82 countries, including the US. And I have a list of the countries here. Let me just read them off to you really quickly. Those dresses you're making, I'm making, that we're all making are going to these places. I'm going to read it to you because I think it's really important to know that these countries are benefiting from our efforts. Afghanistan, Albania, Bangladesh, Belize, Benin, Bolivia, Borneo, Brazil, Bulgaria, Burma, Burundi, Cambodia, Cameroon, Canada, China, Colombia, the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, Congo, Costa Rica, Cuba, Dominican Republic, Ecuador, El Salvador, Ethiopia, Fiji, France, Gabon, Gambia, Ghana, Greece, Guatemala, Guyana, Haiti, Honduras, India, Indonesia, Iraq, Israel, Jamaica, Jordan, Kazakhstan, Kenya, Kuwait, Lebanon, Liberia, Macedonia, Malawi, Mali, Mexico, Micronesia, Mozambique, Nepal, Nicaragua, Nigeria, Pakistan, Panama, Papua New Guinea, Peru, Philippines, Portugal, Puerto Rico, Republic of the Marshall Islands, Republic of Vanuatu, Romania, Russia, Rwanda, Samoa, Senegal, West Africa, Sierra Leone, Spain, South Africa, South Korea, Sri Lanka, St. John, St. Vincent, Grenadines, Sudan, Swaziland, Tanzania, Thailand, Togolese Republic, Turkey, Uganda, Ukraine, Vietnam, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and the US. That is a lot of places for these dresses to go. Project Dress a Girl was founded by Rachel Egum Sinader. It was started by teaching Ugandan women to make pillowcase dresses. So next, after they did that, they decided to collect pillowcases to take to Uganda and teach them at Smile Africa. So as it caught on, they sent dresses to Honduras. And then they stopped using pillowcases because they got expensive. They were made of microfiber. They just weren't as sturdy. And they started using better fabrics. So now they don't just, put the word out to make them and then they collect them. They now hold Dress a Girl camps and kids' days around the globe, teaching girls and boys to give back. They also do a lot of education on sex trafficking and how to avoid that. And there's a document on their website that you can download that gives you all manner of information about that. Their statement of faith is available on their website. It is basically the Apostles' Creed, if you're familiar with that. And I say this because it's important to remember that this whole organization was born out of a mission trip that two women took to Uganda. And so it is a Christian organization. It is faith-based. A list of ambassadors for Project Dress a Girl is on their website. Actually, they have their photograph and then a little description about who they are. And they are not just in the US. There are ambassadors in Canada, Brazil, Italy, Uganda, Sweden, Portugal, Macau, Norway, the UK, Okinawa, Japan, New Zealand, Switzerland, and France. And they also have ambassadors aged 13 through 19 in their Youth Ambassadors program. Okay, so that's kind of a lot about the organization. So how can we get involved? Well, first of all, make a dress. We're all making dresses. And like I say, if you have a need for ideas, just check out any of the videos in September that have been done, and they will give you all kinds of information. There is a playlist for that I will link below. You can host an event. Madi did this recently with the fabric store in her area, Three Little Birds. Everybody went in, they all made dresses, and then they were all collected to give to the ambassador to be sent out and delivered to, the country, those all those countries. So you can do that. How do these dresses get out to these countries? Well, missionaries, ministries, and individual plus humanitarian teams distribute these. They go to Uganda 3 times a year, and Hope for Kids International also leads teams. There are other missionaries that will go to these countries that I rattled off, and they will always take dresses. In the U.S., I know I was curious about this because I live in the U.S., and I thought, where do these dresses go in the U.S.? Well, let me just tell you, they go to local abuse and homeless shelters. They go to girls in the Lakota tribe in South Dakota, which is a Native American tribe. They go to areas of poverty like Douglas, Arizona, and other areas that are economically depressed. And they go to missions in Appalachia. That's in the Appalachian Mountains. So lots of places in the U.S. There have been some people who've mentioned boys. What about boys? What about Project Boys around the world? Well, Project Dress a Girl has answered this by saying that they do one thing and they want to do it well. So they only focus on girls. And the reason that they do that is because girls in the world at large tend to be more at risk. There is more likely to be a girl that you see in rags rather than a boy. Boys are important, but girls are the ones who tend to be the more disadvantaged ones in general. They are also more often victims of trafficking, sex trafficking. So yeah, they really want to focus on that. They don't want to ignore boys, but they also want to just do one thing and do it well. So that's why they focus on girls. They are funded by tax-deductible donations. So if you want to not just make dresses, or if you don't feel like you have the time or the wherewithal to do that, you can also contribute to the organization, which is run by volunteers. They do have a newsletter. The September of this year edition has a big feature on Madi, our very own Madi, who is hosting this event for all of us here and on Instagram. And it doesn't just have to be September when you make dresses and donate them. It can be any time. September is just our big month to focus on this. So there you go. There's the history and a little more information about the whole thing. I will link the website down below. I will link Madi down below. All of the information will be linked down below as usual in the description box. So check there. I did want to tell you that I haven't made any dresses yet. Carmen from Carmen Salome made one dress a month so that when September rolled around, she had 12 dresses made, which I think is a great idea. Now, I'm not a planner. I depend on all of you who are planners. So I am planning on getting my dresses done. But like I say, it doesn't have to be done in September. You can do it any month of the year. September is just our big event where we focus on that. One of the things I'm going to do is use scraps. I have scrap fabrics where I have at least a yard, sometimes a tiny bit more, sometimes a tiny bit less, but these scraps are plenty enough to make a little dress for a little girl. The girls who receive the dresses are anywhere from little tiny girls, little baby girls, toddlers, up to, like teenagers. So the dress that I'm going to primarily be using is Simplicity 2433. This is one I picked up and it's thrifted, and it's a Daisy Kingdom dress. But basically it's just a little dress. It's like a pillowcase dress where it's just got a drawstring going through the neckline, and it's, you want to put pockets on all of them. Yeah, all those other videos, they'll tell you that, all about pockets. But I just found this pattern thrifted and I thought, oh, that's a great dress-a-girl dress. So I'll probably be using that. Last year, I used Butterick 5019 And this is the cutest little dress because it wraps either in the front or the back. No closures other than the ties, which is very important. I also will probably be making at least one of these. This is New Look 6793. It's just a little A-line dress that ties at the shoulder, but my pattern is for very small sizes. So these are like toddler sizes. And then I also have this It's So Easy Simplicity 7252. This is vintage 1991. Very simple dress. Very, very simple. Just bodice, dropped waist, and skirt. You'll put pockets on it, and yeah, there you go. You're done. I am personally staying away from a lot of gathering. I don't want to have to do a lot of gathering. I want to be able to, crank these out pretty quickly. And my last thing is, if you need labels, I ordered some labels. I ordered the minimum amount, and there were 50 in this little bag that I got. I'm only going to use maybe 5 to 10. I have a lot of labels left over. So if you need labels, please message me either on Facebook Messenger or on Instagram, and I will be happy to mail you some. So thanks for watching. That's it for now from me. Here is a playlist of all of the Project Dress a Girl videos for this year. And I will see you next time. Don't forget, do justice, love mercy, and walk humbly with your God.